Right, for more on the U.S. military attacks on Venezuela and specifically their legality, we spoke to Patrick Kadima, who is an international law specialist from Wits University in Johannesburg.
If there was a forcible seizure of the now former president of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, then it's a violation of international law. But there's also another scenario that takes place from this. So if we look at it from the statement where America says there was a negotiated exit, then who was the exit with? We must ask that question. Was the negotiation with Maduro himself, or was the negotiation held with the state of Venezuela? Because both of them have different outcomes, right? So, and if it was a negotiated exit with the state of Venezuela, who was the representative managing that negotiated exit? So one of the legal measures we know that can be implemented or can be applied in the global arena is that of sanctions, right? So, but this is going to be a very difficult thing because sanctions can only be done by the United Nations Security Council. Now, what happens at the United Nations Security Council is that we have five, the P5, we call them the permanent five, right? We know them: America, Russia, China, etc. And these permanent five, they have veto powers, right, to stop any resolutions from passing in the United Nations Security Council. And therefore, I think that no legal measures can be taken against the United States of America because they have veto powers to stop any resolutions. The UN Charter prohibits, aggression, the breach of territorial and integrity and sovereignty, and those are the safeguards that have been put in place. But now we find that day and day, when the multilateral sphere we find ourselves are being pulled and stretched, by various actors. We find ourselves having actors, state actors or non-state actors breaching these safeguards, and it calls for one to ask: is international law or progressive or not? I've seen people claim that international law is dead. International law is not dead. It is pretty much alive. What is needed are the reforms, and these have been discussions, debates that have been held not only now or decades, 10 years back. It has been there for years that international law has not been fair.